Hello, I'm Gavin Jeter with Abley, and today we're going to be talking about the international approach to road safety, the safe system approach. And we'll get down into the weeds about the different ways that the different countries have applied this approach. To my right is Paul Durdin. He's a technical director here at Abley. He's a professional engineer with experience in New Zealand, Australia, the United States, and Canada. And to my left is Dr. Shane Turner. He's also a technical director at Abley. He's a professional engineer with experience in the United States, Canada, New Zealand, Australia, Brunei, Indonesia, and Fiji. Shane, the SAFE system is an international approach to road safety. Can you give me a quick history to the SAFE system approach?
The safe system approach, Gavin, started in Sweden in the 1990s. So a lot of the principles of the safe system were developed in Sweden that we still apply. And from there, it spread through Europe. And of course, Europe has some of the safest roads in the world, and Sweden in particular. From there, it spread in the early 2000s to Victoria and Australia and some other places, but mainly there. And then from there, it quite quickly spread across other parts of Australia and into New Zealand. So the safe system approach has been in place for almost 2 decades across both countries. More recently, countries like the US in the last few years have adopted the safe system approach. And also at an international level, it's gained a lot of traction through the UN, and countries like Indonesia I work in have just recently adopted the safe system approach.
Interesting. And so how do those different countries compare then under their road safety performance?
Yeah, good question, Gavin. So there's a number of different ways we can measure road safety performance. One of the most common metrics is road deaths per capita, and typically on a per 100,000 population basis. So like Shane mentioned, countries like Sweden and Norway, they have the safest, best statistics. It's around about 2 road deaths per 100,000 population. Australia's about double that, around 4. New Zealand's a little bit worse again, around 6, 7 road deaths per 100,000. And then there's a bit of a leap up to the United States, which is around 12 to 14, depending on which year we're looking at. Road trauma went up a lot post-COVID in the United States, with more than 40,000 people dying on their roads annually. It's actually the United States, the second worst performing of all OECD member countries, only better than Colombia, just to put things in context on a per capita basis.
That's pretty high. And so why do you think the US numbers are so high, Shane?
I think it's because they've used just a traditional approach really to road safety. They haven't obviously adopted the safe system like we have in New Zealand and Australia, and got a lot of benefits from that. And that's one of the reasons why they have recently adopted the safe system approach, is because of how effective it is. I think also there's with the safe system, you need to look across all the pillars. So there might just be a more narrow focus around victim blaming, which is the traditional approach. They haven't maybe considered in enough detail the effect of speed. We've learned through adopting the safe system approach that speed is so important, and managing speed, safer speed management.
And you're meaning bringing speeds down?
Generally meaning bringing speeds down, or designing our roads for those higher speeds.
Yeah, interesting. And is there any other countries that stand out, or any other statistics that you think are just really compelling when you think about North America or the US as it compares?
Well, just the pure quantum of people that are dying on the roads. So I think it was 42,000 people died on the road network in 2022. That's more than 100 people dying on the road in the US every day. Yeah. So it's pretty horrific. There's a lot of people, their families, communities, that are directly impacted by that. Yeah. And that doesn't even take into account the people that are seriously injured either. Right. And we know that serious injury rates are probably 6 to 8 times as high as the number of people that are actually killed. So we're starting to talk massive numbers, like more than 250,000 people probably seriously injured in road trauma every year in the States.
Wow, that's amazing. And thank you both for bringing that to light. It's really impactful when you bring it down to an individual person and a family and a community that's affected by that. Thank you for joining us as well. We hope you learned something today on our video about international approaches to road safety.